Hello and welcome to Total Verdict. I'm Kieran,
I'm Tyler.
and together we're the Total Verdict.
Yeah, that felt too BBC
Yeah,
Radio.
it felt very forced.
Yeah.
So we decided to make this kind of podcast out there because everyone nowadays has to have a podcast. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
So
Especially straight white men.
a straight white
We
man
love them,
especially.
we do.
We do. So we wanted to kind of make this to basically just say, here are our opinions. Listen to them.
Half of them, they're correct. No, I wouldn't say that. Kieran's aren't, but mine probably are.
So, yeah, as this is the first episode, we're just going to kind of do some introductory stuff. We're just kind of going to be like, hi, this is us, get to know us.
Yeah. Why did we start this, Kieran? Why?
I think it's because we have good ideas.
I'll have to
and
apologise, this chair's very creaky, but...
We have great ideas, and everyone deserves to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, me...
Okay, well...
I mean, a lot of it came up, like, we said since last year, because it was mid-2018, I said to you about doing one of these. For one reason or another, that did not go ahead. But, I mean, it was last week, wasn't it, that we were sat with our friend James, and who we'll have on here at some point, who's sort of said, well, I mean, if you want to do one, go and do one right now. Like,
go and do it this second.
Yeah, and we done it. That didn't go down too well. So, yeah, things didn't pan out, but...
Let's just say the other one was rated mature.
Yeah.
And we want to keep this one maybe 14, 15.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll border on it when we get a few guests.
No, we will. We will, for sure.
But, no, it was very much a thing of, rather than saying, oh, let's do this, let's go do it.
Yeah.
So...
And look at that, how that turned out.
Yeah, here we are.
But we learned from it. It was an experience.
Don't get all zen on me.
So, yeah, we're going to basically just talk today like we normally do. So we'll just throw a question out there. Tyler, what have you been watching lately?
Oh, I feel like I'm in school. It feels like an icebreaker question. This is awful.
So what's your name and where do you come from?
Cut and Eye Joe. So lately, I finished the season 5 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine because that just came on Netflix. Have you watched it?
I have indeed.
It was incredible. I wasn't so into starting it. Like, it took me a while to really get into it. I was just sort of like, maybe I don't enjoy it as much as I thought I did because I hadn't watched it in ages. And I watched it, I was like, oh no, I actually really love this. And
I think you'll find that's a lot of, that happens a lot of the time with sitcoms because you've got to be watching it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And just reflecting back on it, it never quite seems the same.
Yeah.
A good example would probably be How I Met Your Mother. Like, it's a lot more fun when you watch it as opposed to look back on it.
I don't know. I'd have to disagree with it.
Really?
Yeah. No, How I Met Your Mother holds a special place. It holds a special place in my heart. It was very much a show of like messages as well as banter, and I really liked that. So like, I will look back on How I Met Your Mother and think, good times.
Yeah. No, that's fine. See, get used to that. Just Tyler proving me wrong.
It happens a lot. It's fine. But no, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So you've seen season 5?
I have. I watched it as it kind of came out in the States. I'm one of those people.
That's like, I waited all this time because I didn't realise they air it on E4.
Were you one of those people that were kind of harassing the Netflix team on Twitter?
No, I didn't. I let everyone else do that.
Okay.
My people. No, I'm pretty sure you did at some point though.
Yes, only because it was the bandwagon and I enjoyed jumping on it.
Oh, well, yeah, I've noticed that. But no,
such as the podcast trends.
Yeah, season 5 though, I thought it was great, and I know season 6 starts on E4 on the 28th of March. I want to say, which I look forward to.
Favorite Brooklyn Nine-Nine character and why?
Oh, that's a question. And this is an
It is.
answer. I mean, the thing with my slight problem with Brooklyn Nine-Nine is that we'll just slightly deviate here just to explain, just to give some context on us. We are at university. That's how we met each other, through university. And we're studying
and that kid's is
media
How
course.
I Met Your Mother.
That kid's How I Met Your Mother, yeah. No, we're studying a media course, and so like the essay I done recently was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So it's a small part, like non-flashbacks of PTSD levels with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just like, oh, I remember having to write that. But favorite character, it might have to be Holt.
Oh, my guy.
Well, I feel like it probably would be Jake. Just in the sense that I just feel like just the stuff Jake comes out with is what makes me laugh.
But I think when you look at it at a kind of production level, Holt is one of the best written characters on TV.
Jake's a very good character. Jake fits perfectly, but I don't think there's anything spectacular in his writing. I think there's a lot of what's great about Jake. I think the performance makes him very good.
Sandy Sambo for you, isn't it?
That's it. I feel like he does like that. Holt, the performance and the writing for me is brilliant. Like in the most recent episode, that's a lie. The most recent season, when he's talking about his Twitter account and he signs it up, and it's like loads of numbers, and he's just got such a
keep talking. I've got something for you.
He's got such a deadpan way about him, but not like your classic deadpan. It's more like there's so much integrated humour in everything he says. And like when his giveaway for when he's lying during poker is that he starts using contractions. They also don't, so do not, and I just think that's beauty.
I thought you'd appreciate this. I'll pop this up on screen as well.
You show me a picture on your phone. What? Oh, Jesus.
It's just, I don't know, that's just Holt in general, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing, I don't know what it is. It's his demeanor, and also he has that thing where you know when you look at a character of authority in the TV show, and they have that thing about them where they're very caring towards the other characters.
Yeah.
It's like the moments when Holt is looking out for Jake and stuff, and
Uncle
that's
Phil.
that's why I love him so much.
Uncle Phil
Yeah,
from Fresh Prince.
Uncle Phil, like that. You know, he might be the one that's sort of there saying no, don't do this, but also he's always there for the character.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I think he's ultimately, although he seems very two-dimensional, he's like 8-dimensional.
Yeah, but I feel like despite obviously doing this podcast to look into TV and film, it's very much not to sort of throw ourselves under the bus, but I feel like you can almost overanalyze it. And I think with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's just funny. Like, it just is. That's what I think. That's why I love it, because it is just funny.
Yeah.
It's also, it's a very inclusive show to some extent. Like, it's not Friends. It's not, a group of white friends go around New York.
Scrubs in a police station.
Scrubs in the police station. But no, that's why I like it. But that's what I've been watching. Another thing I've been watching is Afterlife.
There we go. I was waiting for that.
But I feel like we have to dedicate an episode to Afterlife.
No, yeah, for sure.
I feel like
what I
there's a
will
lot
say
to get into on that.
What I will
Ricky
say
Gervais's Afterlife.
Anybody who hasn't seen Afterlife yet, go and watch it.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about it, you're going to be very confused.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Netflix show for anyone that doesn't know. We're not having absolute, God-giving moments. We're just here, like,
no,
the Afterlife
that will come out
fantastic.
about episode 5, 6, maybe.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, just not just yet. Let's not start the introductory one with all the God-fearing prophecies and stuff.
Yeah, let's just not get into religion at all, Kieran.
No, good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Afterlife has been the last TV show that I've kind of got into. I have gone back. I'm gonna get a lot of stick for this. I know. I've went back and I've watched Misfits again.
Yeah.
And it was only when I watch it back that I realised it was actually a bloody good show.
It was a good show.
It was different enough. It did things that others hadn't done yet.
It was. I agree. But it's also not... I wouldn't really say it's one of them shows I'm going to go back and watch.
Oh, no. It's nothing huge. It's nothing special. It's just I had the DVDs and I had nothing else to watch.
I mean, there's always something else to watch, Kieran.
There is always something else to watch, but the internet was down and it was a DVD, so I thought, fuck it, let's give it a go. And
wow.
Sure enough,
a DVD. Wow, is that some alien technology? What is this you speak of?
It's like a Blu-ray, but devolved.
Right.
So it's like that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So it's like Blu-ray is Charizard and DVD is Charmander.
DVD is Caterpie.
No, because it's the pre-evolution.
It
Brush
is a
up on your
pre-evolution.
Pokemon knowledge,
Okay, no,
Kieran.
fair enough.
I'm not here to discuss TV and film. If you
I
don't
thought you
know
were
Pokemon
just
knowledge.
comparing
Jeez.
the actual ability levels, which
No, I actually I have a lot of DVDs still.
the only DVDs that I've kept are Marvel films. That's it. I don't have
No, I've
any
got a
others
lot.
except for Marvel films and Misfits. Oh, and Skins. I've got the Skins DVDs.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I went through my DVDs recently to get rid of some and like keep some. The last time I haven't bought DVDs in ages, apart from late last year, when HMV released the Deadpool editions of
Oh yeah.
things.
Which ones did you pick
I
up?
got The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I got Terminator, and I got Fight Club, of course.
I mean, let's be real. It was such a clever marketing
It just
ploy.
looked great. I was just there, and I was like 3 for 20 quid short. I can do that. But
See, I'm one of those people that I couldn't have done that because I'd be looking at those three for the rest of my life, thinking, I don't have the rest.
yeah, well,
I'm a collector.
I
I'll
didn't
look
really
at that
care
and I
for
just
the
think,
rest.
oh,
I didn't really care for the rest. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what they all were.
there was like 20, was there?
Yeah, no, that's a lie.
I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure there were much less than 20.
No, I thought it was 20.
No, so they done Edward Scissorhands. I didn't see Edward Scissorhands. I would have definitely got that. Terminator, Fight Club, Predator, Revenge of the Nerds, Castaway, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and War of the Planet of the Apes.
So only 8.
Yeah, and it was only like Fight Club and Terminator, two of my favourite films.
Yeah.
And then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is I don't really care for it, but it's a classic, and the cover was very nice as instead of Von Cleef, it was obviously Deadpool, and I thought, yeah, I can get on board with that. It was either that or like Predator, and I'll be completely honest, I don't really care for Predator.
Was it original Predator, was it?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I just don't really care.
Now, what would have been better is if they remade all of these films with Deadpool in them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Would they?
If you could throw Deadpool into any film, what would it be?
Any film at all?
Any film whatsoever.
Okay. Oh.
You can have 2. I'll give you 2. I'll be generous.
Right. I mean, firstly, it'd have to be something like You've Got Mail, because you just want to throw that curveball into there. You want to destroy Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan once and for all. We've seen too much of them together. Individually, I like them. Tom Hanks is great, but together, I'm like, no more. And then Star Wars, because Star Wars needs to become interesting. Because let's be honest, it's not.
I think I'd go for Alien.
Right.
And I'd go for Ferris Bueller.
That's an interesting shout. Why Ferris Bueller?
Because we saw the end credits scene. I'd just like to see that played out in full.
Okay.
Or the Breakfast Club, actually.
The Breakfast Club, good. But no, I've also just realised one episode we will do is on Star Wars, because Star Wars.
There's a lot to talk about.
Star Wars is a massive franchise. I know you like Star Wars, don't you?
I used to adore Star Wars. I really did. I used to adore it.
Yeah, so.
Do I love it now? Is a different question.
I used to absolutely love Star Wars.
I love the idea of Star Wars.
The games, the toys.
Republic Commando. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember
After saying the game.
Republic Commando was such a good game.
No, I used to like I like the classic ones like Star Wars Bounty Hunter and stuff, and then you had like Knights of the Old Republic, which was great. The original Battlefronts, stuff like them. I loved them. The films, but no, I'd like
the pod racing one. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that was sick.
I would like to get into that because I absolutely loved Star Wars, and I still really like Star Wars, and I think that I'm vocal about the fact that I believe The Last Jedi was the best of the Star Wars films.
I think the original trilogy. I mean, many people will agree with this. The original trilogy had a different tone to what we have now.
I just think,
and as much as people don't like the second trilogy, it's more in tune with the original trilogy than what we've got now. What we've got now is something completely different.
I agree they're different, but I just think, as I said, we will definitely get into another episode. What I'll leave it at is the fact that I just think it's nothing special. I don't look at Star Wars and I think, oof, that is some legendary stuff, right? That is unprecedented. I think it's a bit like James Bond. I know you said before you like the James Bond films. You said before you like the James Bond films.
No, I've never said that.
You just told me you've watched them.
I've watched them. I've never enjoyed them.
You've watched them all through, but never enjoyed them.
Yeah, because
what possessed you to go to the next film thinking, well, that was a bit crap?
I think it was more. Well, this one might be better.
It's
kind of like the Star Wars films. Should we keep watching them?
At no point you thought, you know what? I've been through 13 chances. Are they not getting better?
Well, no. I thought every single time a new Bond came in, I thought, well, maybe that person will do it justice.
But I've enjoyed almost all the Daniel Craig films. Like, I'm not saying I absolutely hate James Bond films. I mean, I'll mention it now because I'm not getting into an episode on James Bond. Like Casino Royale, brilliant film. My favourite of the Bond films. I really enjoyed Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre as well. It was okay. And I'll watch the new one when it comes out, but I just think like people are like, oh, the James Bond films. How haven't you seen them? They're great.
I'm more of a Jason Bourne kind of guy.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. No,
I just think James Bond's like, yeah, it's okay. It's just they're not great, are they? Let's be real.
James Bond's. I just find it boring. I'm just like, it's just nothing. Again, it's nothing special. That's why. Controversial opinion time. That's why I do think throwing Idris Elba into there or something. Like a lot of people want to keep James Bond the white. I'm just there. And I'm like, guys, it's very boring. Let's bring someone interesting like Idris Elba into it.
Funny thing. Originally, James Bond was supposed to be. Or he was written as, what was it? I think it was Scottish.
Right.
What's Pierce Brosnan? He's Scottish, isn't he? Yeah. So James Bond was originally written as a Scottish man.
Yeah.
So the only one who ever really got it right was Pierce Brosnan.
Wait, no.
Everyone after him.
No. Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, that's the one.
Yeah.
Every single one after Sean Connery was wrong anyway.
Yeah.
So if they introduce a black guy, what's the big fuss? I think he'd really do well.
That's just like my life mantra at this point. What's the big fuss? Everything seems to be a big fuss now. I'm just like, what's the big fuss? No, but I would. I mean,
do you know what? We've touched on Star Wars. We've touched on James Bond. All we've got left now are Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, and we've covered the big ones.
No, we'll do Lord of the Rings at some point. I love Lord of the Rings. Love it. Indiana Jones, alright.
No, sorry, Indiana Jones is shit.
I wouldn't say shit. No.
No, I can't do it. I don't know why. I've never been able to sit through one. And then, like, Crystal Skull came out, and I just thought, what is this?
Have you watched them?
Yes.
I've watched them a few times when I was a kid. I really like them.
Sorry, I've just called them shit. Did you expect me to be one of those people that's just like, the covers look bad, so the films are shit?
Yeah, I did.
No, I've seen them. I just didn't like them.
No, I did enjoy them. I thought... So, are you a Harrison Ford fan? Or no?
I'm a Han Solo fan.
That's not an answer to the question. Are you a Harrison Ford fan?
I don't think I am a Harrison Ford fan.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen much Harrison Ford apart from Star Wars.
That's why I said I'm a Han Solo fan.
What else has Harrison Ford done?
Oh God.
I want to say he done. No.
I don't know that one.
Con Air. Sorry, Con Air.
I don't think he did Con Air.
Didn't he?
That was.
No, it was Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of what's the one with there's a president in it? Is it Air Force One? Is that a film? Or am I just making this all up?
I mean, Air Force One is a pretty bland name. That's probably
Air Force One. No, I'm sure.
Films under that name.
No, I'm sure it's something to do with protecting the president. Let me have a look. Air Force One. Air Force One. It was a 1997. Yeah, Harrison Ford film. Also has Gary Oldman in it. Yeah, so it's about a group of terrorists who hijack Air Force One and the US president's attempt to rescue everyone by retaking the plane.
I do see why you thought that was Con Air.
Yeah, it's both had the word there. But no, I haven't seen much with Harrison Ford, I'll be honest.
Okay, so what else have we been watching lately? It's not necessarily something I've been watching lately, but something I'm looking forward to, and
so
something
you haven't answered your own question. Then.
No, I dodged the question because I couldn't think of an answer, and we don't want dead air. So, one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to, and I think something that will probably be touched on this podcast a fair few times, is Marvel films.
Marvel films.
I don't want to touch too much on it.
Yeah,
but what I will say is we're a fan.
We might talk about them. We might do that in a separate podcast.
I don't want this to turn into a whole thing where we just kind of geek out about stuff. But I mean, That's for a different podcast. But we like Marvel
Yeah.
films.
Well,
So
speaking more,
I'm looking forward to Endgame big time.
Speaking more broadly on the topic of Marvel, it's next week on the 20th of March, I think that's this week. Well, that Disney will gain the full purchase of Fox.
But I don't think we're going to see anything like
21st Century Fox.
resoundingly different until films start coming out.
Oh no, we won't see anything different from now.
No.
I'm saying that, so they're going to have Fantastic Four will be back home. The X-Men will be back home.
Were Fantastic Four ever really home?
Yes, I loved the Fantastic Four films, the original ones.
Really?
They weren't great. They weren't great films, like objectively, but I loved them.
They're kind of like that film that you laugh at because it's so.
You have to bear in mind, when did Fantastic Four come out? If I just
Don't do this. Don't tell me this. I'm going to feel old.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel really old.
You have to bear in mind that when Fantastic Four came out,
No.
I would have been right. It came out in 2005. I would have been 5 or 6 years old. So you have to bear in mind that I was watching that thinking, oh, this is great. He's on fire.
Sorry, I would have been. So you would have been 5 or 6?
Yeah. So you would have been what?
Yeah, I would have
10.
been like 10.
Yeah. To be fair, at 10, you're hardly going, the framing of this is all off. Like, this is not a believable performance.
I've got to say, the CGI is terrible.
Yeah, like, so you said at the age to enjoy it, you just got cynical.
I was just a skeptical child.
Yeah. No, but no, I did enjoy the early Fantastic Four films. I used to really like Human Torch was like, I was like one day.
No, Human Torch was the one. Like, there was I will admit, that skiing scene, or snowboarding scene,
yes, when they play
that was dope.
Newts by Sum 41.
That was dope.
That was
like,
great.
I'll happily hand down and just say that was sick.
And there was obviously, I really liked, I can't even remember his name, the guy who played Reed Richards. I thought he played that very well.
Yeah, no, he did play it
the
well.
Welsh guy.
Do you see who they're kind of dubbing to play it soon?
No.
George Clooney.
Can we not? Can we
yeah,
just
I'd
not?
rather not.
Can we leave George Clooney alone, please?
There's been a few fan arts as well of John Krasinski.
Yes, I've seen it.
I think that could work if they're going kind of younger Fantastic Four.
Perhaps. I do like John Krasinski. Oh, you could even get Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
That would be good. Who would you cast as Johnny and Ben though? Like, see, it's worth noting that for ages I've been kind of pitching to these to Tyler and the rest of our pals, kind of fan cast podcast. So this is the closest I think I'm ever going to get.
Yeah.
So if you were to cast the new Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, who are you casting?
Right. Well, it'll take too much thought, so we'll stick with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Sue and Reed. The other way around, of course. The thing is, you just know that unless they really go to town on it, they're gonna have the thing, and they'll be like, who do we get? We'll get John Cena. And I'm just,
they wouldn't do John Cena.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Disney.
They couldn't do John Cena. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, but they think they'll look at him and they'll think
he'll walk around with his massive trench coat on, his hat up, and his sunglasses, going, "You can't see me."
You shouldn't have done that. No, I think Human Torch. The thing is, Chris Evans captures Johnny Storm very well. I thought, like as much stick as the films.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, like I've read some of the Fantastic Four comics. I genuinely I used to really like that side of Marvel. I watched the films when I was a kid. I read some of the comics when I was a kid, and then do you remember the Franklin Richards books?
Yeah.
I used to read them, like the kids ones, like so I absolutely loved it. And just the way the Human Torch was, I just felt like Chris Evans got that so well. Obviously,
no, he did get it really.
We've got him as
it was really good.
We've got him as Cap for now.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to leeway too much, but if you were to choose between Bucky and Falcon to replace Cap, who are you going with?
You're deviating so much here.
I am. I know, but just new questions are popping up left, right, and centre.
Right. Let me think. Right. Human Torch.
Yes.
I don't think there's anyone off the top of my head I could say yes, he could pull it off. I just feel like Hollywood doesn't seem to like. He maintained that. It was very much the era of stupid and cool jock type Americans. So like you'd get Disney films when Disney Channel original movies were at their peak in the early 2000s, and you'd have that cool guy who was also a bit stupid, and he was on the football team, and especially he'd be connected to the main people somehow by like how Johnny's Sue's brother.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see exactly where you're going with that.
I struggle with it now because I don't feel like we see that as much now.
No.
You don't.
But then again, Johnny's always been a kind of childish, kind of immature, but at the same time, good-hearted guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree.
A classic character,
I agree. That would be a very difficult casting.
Yeah.
Doom, on the other hand, could realistically be played by anyone.
Yeah. I mean, Vince Vaughn's all lined up. Vince Vaughn.
Oh, I'd love that.
Who played Doctor Doom? What's the guy's name? Who played him in the original ones? I remember his face.
Head.
He just slightly reminds me of Vince Vaughn.
No, off the top of my head, I've got nothing. I know you played him well. Wait, which one were you talking about? Were you talking about original? Original. Played him well.
Not the one with what's his name.
Yeah, I didn't like the reboot in the slightest.
No, I didn't really like the reboot.
Any luck?
So we have Julian McMahon.
I mean, I'm not even going to pretend that I knew.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's who played... is that who played... Tony? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tony Cabell. Right, I'm actually shocked by this because I haven't seen this in a long time. So in the reboot Fantastic Four, the guy that played him is the main guy from... Do you remember the episode of Black Mirror, The Entire History of You?
Yeah.
It's him.
You didn't know that?
No, I did like, because I think I probably watched Fantastic Four before I watched
Black Mirror.
The episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
So like, it didn't hit me.
Oh, that's like, another episode we're gonna have to do.
Black Mirror.
Oh yeah.
We will go in.
But I'm not gonna go into like a big dive into this. But do you just want to kind of summarize how much I like Black Mirror?
Yeah, I mean,
if you do it, it will go on for like a lot shorter than if I do.
I love Black Mirror, absolutely love it, and I could watch it. Well, I was going to say I could watch it all day, but I mean, I do. I have watched it all day. You just end the day very depressed. But no, it is brilliant. But I mean, you're sat there with a tattoo, which bit far. Some would say. Some people might include me, but
some people would say it's just far enough.
No, but no. Black Mirror is definitely an episode we'll do.
Yeah,
because there's a lot to take out of that.
Okay. I know we kind of touched on this last time, and it's a very difficult...
Sorry, I've just thought one casting for Johnny Storm that we won't see.
Go on.
Because of the MCU. Daniel Kaluuya, I think, would do it very well.
Who?
Daniel Kaluuya. Get Out.
Okay.
15 million merits.
Yeah.
Black Mirror episode. Yeah, no, I think he could do Johnny Storm very well.
Okay.
Because like in Get Out, he's got that quite suave way about him.
Yeah. But no, I see that.
I feel like he could also play someone who's, a bit dim. He doesn't come
but
across...
has a good heart.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't come across dim at all, but I feel like he could pull it off.
Yeah.
No, I think we'd see him.
No, I'd like that casting.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do Ben.
Ben. Oh.
I mean, you said John Cena, but I assumed you weren't very serious about that.
Everything. Have you not? John Cena takes himself very seriously, Kieran. He's a serious actor.
He is, but like all of his characters aren't.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
He was in Fred. Do you remember that?
God,
he was in Fred.
Fred was an awful time of life. Honestly,
don't worry. There will not be any episodes on Fred. Fred 2, on the other hand.
Aren't all episodes secretly about Fred?
Everything's about Fred. If you look on like a proper subtext level, everything is about Fred.
Did Fred not spell his name with the E backwards?
It was the R backwards.
Was it the R backwards?
I think it was the R backwards.
That's so edgy. I don't think we can even. I don't think we can even start. No, but no.
Okay, yeah. So I was gonna say, I know we've kind of touched on this before between me and you. And I know it's a topic that would take a lot of talking about, and we will do an episode about it, purely about this in the future. But at the moment, at this current moment in time, top 3 films and why?
Right.
It's worth noting, you cannot take anything back.
Yes, I can.
No, that's a raw... No, I mean, within this conversation, there's no making your list and saying, actually, I'll swap that for that. So have a close think.
I pose a different question to you because I feel
that
like
was very well clapped back, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry. What rather than ranking your films at the moment, tell me a film that would be amongst your top rated films. What's the most recent film you've seen where you thought, yeah, that's definitely in my
Can it be a rewatch?
Yes. If it can be a rewatch if you've only seen it twice.
Well, shit.
So like it's the second time you've watched it and you thought, yes,
there are
that
not
goes
many
in my
films
top
that
10.
I've seen less than twice.
That's worrying.
Well, no, there's not many good films I've seen less than twice.
Right.
Okay.
So like recently, I watched Whiplash, and that film is right into my top films. Like it was an incredible film.
No, I do remember you kind of coming in and kind of talking about it.
Yeah. Miles Teller was very good in it, and I've completely forgot his name. J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah.
I was going to call him JJJ. J.K. Simmons in it is phenomenal. J.K. Simmons won I think I'm right in saying he won a supporting Oscar for it. It was incredible. And then just the premise of the film is so simple. Like it's so it's at this music school, and this kid, played by Miles Teller, is learning to play the drums. And this is such a simple breakdown of it. Don't get offended. And he gets inducted into like the school band kind of thing. But the whole thing is J.K. Simmons is the teacher, and if he tells you that he wants you in the band, that is one of the highest honors. You're like, oh my god, like I get to perform for him. And then eventually he tells this kid to come, and he's only supporting the drummer at first. He's just there to turn pages and stuff. And then the drummer, but J.K. Simmons is very short with people. The drummer gets it wrong. He's like, right, you're off. I'll get this guy on. So then Miles Teller comes on, and you're like, this is his moment, and he plays. But then he's like, no, he's not good enough either. So then, like it's a yo-yo. Like he keeps everyone on strings, and then he's a very aggressive teacher. Like he's screaming at at Miles Teller, like making sure he gets this right. He will properly screaming in his face. He throws a chair at him and everything just because he's not getting it right, and it's very aggressive. But like, it's so captivating. Like you have to watch it.
That does sound pretty good.
It's such a simple premise, but very good.
Right, I'm struggling with your parameters for this question.
Okay, well, what's just tell me one of your favourite films.
One of my absolute favourites.
Get an idea of Kieran.
Okay,
Who is Kieran?
The one that instantly comes to mind. There's two that come to mind. You can pick one, because they're both pretty much equal on the scale. It's probably Shawshank Redemption and Shaun of the Dead.
I thought you were going to say Jingle All the Way.
For different reasons, they're both kind of pretty equal on the scale.
Right.
Pick one. We'll dive into that one.
Pick one. Well, you see, my problem with films like Shawshank Redemption is I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it became a bit of a bandwagon. It did. Let's be honest. It did. It's like, I will tell you another film that falls into the exact same category. A fantastic film, but falls into the same category.
Go ahead.
Pulp Fiction. A very good film.
I'd say Shawshank is
such a bandwagon.
Yeah, but it might be a bandwagon, but it's a fucking good bandwagon.
It's a good bandwagon.
Like,
but I just think
there is nothing wrong with jumping on that bandwagon and enjoying the whole ride down.
There's not, but there is.
There's not.
I don't know.
I mean, look, it was my favourite film. Then it became a bandwagon, and it's remained my favourite film.
No, that's fine.
Therefore, the whole bandwagon phase isn't included in my list of favourites.
That's fine, because I've got a bunch of films that are some of my favourites that are probably part of a bandwagon too. I'm not going to lie to you. Off the top of my head. So The Dark Knight is one of my favourite films, but it's such an obvious favourite film.
We've had discussions about this, haven't we?
We have. And I think The Dark Knight seems like an obvious choice because it is. But we'll get into that. Let's just see yours. We'll go for Shaun of the Dead.
Oh God.
We'll go for Shaun of the Dead.
Right now, Shaun of the Dead is just. I mean, I'm not even going to explain the premise because I'm just assuming that everyone's seen it. And if you haven't, you should. The thing about Shaun of the Dead that I like is just Edgar Wright as a director.
Yeah.
I used to love Spaced.
Yeah.
I adored Space, and I adored zombie films. Mm-hmm. And when those two things clashed together and made Shaun of the Dead, I fell in love.
Yeah.
And it's just simply the fact that it's got that humour, it's got that incredible directing and editing style that just Edgar Wright is just known for. And it's the fact that there's so many subliminal messages in it. Like, when it comes to analysing that film, so this is one of the issues, and I've said this before. You know, when you're a media student and you have to study these films and TV shows, it makes it so difficult to look at it as just fun. You start analysing stuff, which can, originally, it's annoying.
I was sat with my family, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was on. And I was just sat there. They're just watching it, finding out if the person's going to get to a million. I was sat there and I was just like, I mean, who even chose that shot? I was just like, it's such a bad shot. And then I had to sit there for a minute and think, oh, this is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
But I mean, with really some, like at first, it's annoying. But with some films and some shows, it works. Like, say, Shaun of the Dead. I have still noticed things in that film that I'm sure were put there intentionally. That when you Google it, people haven't even noticed it before. Like, there's so many small details, minute details. I think one of the ones that stands out to me is everyone knows the scene of that one continuous shot of Sean walking to the shops.
Yeah.
Right, when he does that, he goes to the fridge. And what does he get out of the fridge, Tyler? Did you know?
Oh, off the top of my head, I don't.
He gets a regular can of Coke.
Right.
Right. And then he walks home drinking it.
Yeah.
And the whole consistent part of that kind of beginning half of the film is that Sean's throwing his life away, he's smoking, he's unhealthy, whatever.
Drinking Coke, he's living on the edge, he is.
No, but here's the thing. The second time that shot is duplicated, near enough shot for shot, when things have gone to shit and things are like zombified or whatever.
You're going to say he gets Coke.
He gets a Diet Coke. After he's had the conversation with Liz that he's going to change his lifestyle and he's going to get better, he gets a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Now, although it's small, that's hands down like a very subliminal way of saying that he's made the conscious effort to get his life together.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, some people are going to say that it's coincidence. Well, if you think that, then fuck you. Because it's not.
Language. No, I think Edgar
It's
Wright...
there intentionally. Edgar Wright is a genius, and I respect him with all of my might.
Edgar Wright clearly pays attention to detail. I think, in fact, possibly more than any director around, like any big director around.
There are some. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
I say that.
Kubrick, for example.
Yeah.
Look at The Shining. The amount of stuff that's hidden in there.
Around. Any director around, Kieran.
Okay, fine.
But I say that. I think attention to detail can work in different ways. So one person whose films I'd like to get into at some point is Wes Anderson. And he pays attention to detail in a whole other way. It's like, but what I mean with Edgar Wright is, you know, his shots of like pouring coffee and stuff, the close-ups. That's something I want to integrate into things I make.
Yeah.
You know, I always want to fit them kind of shots in. I know a lot of the time I'll, you know, take jabs at you about Edgar Wright just for the fun of it. But like, he's a fantastic director. Potentially in my top 3.
My guy.
But no, I think
that's on recording now. You can never deny that you said that.
No, I've never denied it. I've never denied it at all. I just think I don't know. I think
Baby Driver.
He handles things very differently.
Look at Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that first scene. That first scene with him walking down the street with the music playing, and how near enough every lyric is written.
What I'll say. I know what scene you're talking about, but I haven't seen the film.
What?
You show me the scene. I haven't seen the film.
You haven't seen the film?
No. I know it's one of them films I will get around to watching, and I know like it's good and stuff. I know like you love it and that, and I will watch it. It's just I've got so many others to watch too. And I also have a life. That was a lie,
well.
Absolute lie.
Right.
But no, I think the fact Edgar Wright does he does things different. # do media differently. He does things very differently, and that's what I like. You know, that's what I like to see from a director.
Some variety, not just a cash grab. The actual art of filmmaking just hidden in there somewhere.
Yeah, like, and that's why I like. You say the word art. That's why I like Wes Anderson. Like, honestly, a lot of his shots look like actual art pieces. They look like they've been drawn.
Yeah.
You know, when he's using tracking shots in the middle of a conversation, it's perfect symmetry. It's like that. To me, that could actually be a painting. Like it looks so, especially with the very vibrant colors. You look at Grand Budapest, the purple and pink looks so bright, and no, that's what I like. That's what I like to see when people just do stuff differently.
Yeah.
Like that's when certain films come out, and I just think I don't, they're not bad or anything, and I can't, not every film is going to be different. A lot of them will follow a similar premise to each other. But it's the same reason I say what I say with Star Wars.
See,
just like
me and my missus were having a conversation about this the other night, and she was saying that she prefers kind of pre-2000 films.
Yeah.
So like the oldest, and I said exactly the same thing. It's because back then things were new, and you've seen those repeated thousands and thousands of times by now, and they just seem washed out and reused and rehashed, and it becomes boring.
I think it depends how you approach it, because while I do prefer films being done differently and stuff, I can watch. You get these classic early 2000s films or 90s films that I could just watch and watch and watch.
Shrek.
Oh yeah, not quite what I meant, but Shrek's one of them. But when you get these very like teen films, like they're overdone.
American Pie.
Fantastic, yeah, stuff like that, yeah. Like
I love the American Pie films. Loved being the key word there.
There has to be. Why loved?
Well, I don't know. I think it's one of those that once you get to about band camp stage, it kind of fizzles out.
Oh, you mean like you didn't enjoy the later?
No, I enjoyed them. I loved the original 3.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into and then by the very end, it was tolerate.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some of them. I didn't. I watched the first. I want to say 3. It might have been 2, but no, I didn't think they were groundbreaking. But the thing is, there's always going to be those films. There has to be those. You're going to have people like your Wes Andersons and your Edgar Wrights and your Quentin Tarantinos that want to do stuff differently. But then you're also going to have your films, and God, we're definitely not doing episodes on these films. But you're also going to have your films like the Fast and the Furious franchise, which aren't anything special. It's cars and it's fighting and it's shooting. And there's nothing special about it, but someone has to do it. And as far as they go,
there's a gap in the market for
it. They've done well. But I don't like them. I just watch them, and I don't like them because they're all the same.
Here's one particular type of film, and it was you mentioning kind of teen movies that made me think of it. But one type of movie that I would pay to see like a comeback from is the Not Another Blank movie. It's a scary movie, not another teen movie.
Yeah.
That spate of just parody movies.
Yeah.
They were so just silly.
Yeah.
And intentionally shit that they were great.
That's what I feel like is lost in some films now. The fun.
The uniqueness.
Not just that, the fun. The actual I don't want to have to go to every film and I love having my mind tested by films.
Yeah.
I love the cogs having to turn. But the reason that I feel like, I say someone has to make those other films is because I don't want to have to go to every film and really think about it. Films that I like, such as Children of Men and stuff, it really gets you thinking, and I love doing that. I love it when a film does that.
But you don't always want it.
I also want to go into the cinema and see The Meg. I want to see a film about a shark crashing into an underwater shark exploration place and thinking that is ridiculous. But my mind doesn't have to do any work. I can just watch Jason Statham fight this shark. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally you've just explained the two definitions of why films exist: A, for entertainment, and B, for art pieces. Yeah. That's literally the two reasons why films are there. And I think there's a very clear split down the middle. It's not often that you'd find one that mixes in both.
Yeah.
I think there are some, and that's one of the reasons I like Shaun of the Dead, because the directing style is art piecey, the actual content is fun, quirky, and entertaining.
Yeah,
it's got that mix of the two. It's like the Carry On films. They're a good example of just entertainment.
I haven't really watched them, I'm not gonna lie.
Have you not?
No, I know of Carry On docs, Carry On Cleopatra, all this, but I don't watch them.
Okay, here's one: Split. What category would you put Split into? Would you say that was more the arty kind of side, or would you say that was more just the entertainment side? Or did it mix both?
See, you've made a mistake. You're coming into this discussion thinking I've seen Split.
What?
That was your first mistake.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. You haven't seen Split. You haven't seen Baby Driver. That's your homework. For the next time we podcast, I want you to watch Split or Baby Driver.
I mean, I'll say yes now, and then the next podcast, I'll tell you no, I didn't.
It'll be a running gag for the rest of the season.
I'll get round to watching them. But it's like that series. I've been told loads of times to watch that like a series of films.
Unbreakable is great.
Yeah.
I just assumed you'd seen it as a dignified film buff. I assumed you'd seen it. I was wrong.
Oh, we're playing that game, aren't we? No, what was Glass? Was it the recent one that came out?
I haven't seen Glass yet.
As a dignified film buff, and you haven't seen Glass.
Mainly because I'm waiting for the Blu-ray.
Why?
Because I want to see the special features, and I want to see it in an extended cut, and I want to enjoy it.
You mess.
I'd say it's more the opposite of mess. Right. It's neat.
No, I mean, what do you think of Split? Where do you think it ranks in those? Not ranks, but what category?
I think Split is cool. The reason I think Split is cool is because, like how I mentioned Shaun of the Dead, it kind of touches on both. Some of the shots in that are phenomenal. They really are. But at the same time, it's fun, it's quirky, and it gets you thinking. It does mix the two. I think it's very difficult to do this without spoilers. And I'm going to make sure you watch it, so there's no... I'm not going to risk spoiling it. But yeah, it's got a good, healthy mix of the two.
Yeah.
And there aren't many films like that. You know, if you sit down and think, you can think of some off the top of your head. But when you also sit down and someone tells you, think of an entertaining film, you've got like 6 or 7 racked up ready to go. Same as think of an intelligent film that makes you think. It's easy to think of
Dragon Ball Evolution.
There you go. But when it comes to picking one that's in the middle of the two, that's when it becomes difficult because they're so... You know, it's so difficult to achieve. I
like that you think you've broken filmmaking down into 2 sides of a Venn diagram, and you think that's it.
No, there's obviously more, I think, but that's, to your average viewer, that's what there is, isn't there? You know, when you've got Keith who
Bold of you to assume you're above average.
When you've got Keith, who's a dad of 3, and he's sitting down and he wants to watch a film, it is pretty much, am I going to watch a kind of fun, quirky, entertaining film? Or am I going to watch a kind of art-housey film?
Firstly, we all know Keiths are only uncles.
I've got an Uncle Keith.
There we go. Secondly, I know what you mean.
Of course there's more. There's naturally going to be. And I'd love to sit down at one point and kind of divulge into all of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we were to pinpoint 2, I think it would be those 2, wouldn't it? Each of those have their own kind of subsectors.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Because I feel like films take The Godfather. I don't think that quite falls into one of those 2 categories. I think The Godfather.
Yeah, but it's got a very arty style to it, and it's well done. It's well shot. But at the same time, it's entertainment. It's violent entertainment.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's the primary purpose or primary goal of The Godfather. I feel like, you've got some films that want to get you thinking.
Yeah.
You've got some films that want to just entertain you. This does neither for me. It knows it's going to entertain you.
Oh, shit. Now we've just added a third circle to this Venn diagram.
It knows it's going to entertain you. And it knows it'll get you thinking.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. But then it's also, it's a film about, it's largely about family and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I think that's where I feel like it's too simplistic to break it down into the 2. Sorry to burst
No. That
It
does make sense.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, straight off the bat, from what we were talking about, like the films we were listing, they did kind of fit into those 2 categories.
Yeah.
Okay, TV shows.
Oh.
And I know we've touched on Afterlife, and we've touched on a few other things, but other than Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Afterlife,
Yeah.
what's one of your all-time favourite TV shows?
Has to be Jack Whitehall's Travels with My Father. No, it's not. Let's just make that clear. It's not. One of my favourite TV shows. Right, one has to be, and I don't think anyone really debates this, but I will still fight it. Prison Break season 1.
Nothing after season 1.
It's Prison Break. Let me finish the sentence. Prison Break season 1 was incredible. You know, like that. I think one of the best seasons of anything I've ever seen.
Even season 2 was slightly tolerable.
I
compared
enjoyed
to the
season.
rest.
I enjoyed season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 was the one with Mahone. Was it Mahone? The
Yeah,
FBI
he
guy
was after
going after them.
Schofield.
That was very good. I still thought it was very good. It wasn't quite, you know, like incredible.
No,
an
yeah, it
incredible
wasn't
watch,
the same.
but it was very good. Season 3 was, where were they in season 3? Was it Sona? The
Panama.
is it a prison in Panama? Sona.
I think it is.
The one where he meets Teabag in prison again, and he's like, "Whoa, Teabag."
Yeah, the kind of old.
Rundown prison.
Yeah,
And
I think that was 3.
yeah.
Although part of me wants to say that was 4, and there was something in between.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So season 3 is.
Let me guess. He tried to break out of another prison.
No, I'm almost certain.
I mean,
3.
I am too, but I've just.
So no. Yes,
yeah. Okay.
it is.
Okay. So what was 4?
4 would have been right. There's 5 seasons.
No, it wasn't the 6.
No, I think there were rumors of a 6th one coming out. But
Oh,
I'm pretty
really?
certain. They just need to let it die.
Christ.
Wentworth Miller. That's his name, isn't it? Wentworth Miller?
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. Yeah, it deserves much more than what Prison Break became.
I mean, look. Even if they remade and rebooted season 1, it would be better than anything they could make in a season 6.
Yeah. So
Just do what they do with video games and remaster season 1.
I don't even know. I just remember. I just remember.
Don't
it
they
being,
break Sarah out at some point?
Sarah is. I can't remember what happens with Sarah.
She gets into a prison somewhere.
Does she?
I think that might have been the very last season.
No, the latest season.
They break her out.
No, they break Michael out again. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure. I could be absolutely.
So when
making
did they
this
get
up.
exonerated?
What? They get exonerated at the end of the second one. He ends up in Sona for a different reason, I think. No,
He goes in to break out.
I want to say he sold himself out, like to get the others exonerated. But I could be wrong.
Jesus Christ.
If I'm wrong about these things that I'm guessing, then Fox will hear it and they will snap this up because they will make a season out of anything. But no, I'm pretty sure the last season.
Prison Break season 7, proving those podcast dickheads wrong.
I started watching season 5, which I want to say was the latest one. I started it, and it wasn't. I was going to say it was okay, then I was just like, it wasn't good.
It's because they tried to reboot it with season 5.
I want to say what happens is like no one's really been in like contact with each other for a while, and I want to say what's his name? Heatwave from Legends of Tomorrow. Lincoln goes to Sarah, and they're talking about getting Michael out of prison, and they're talking about getting Michael out of prison once again. But I'll level with you, it clearly derailed the facts that we can't remember. I do remember loving
the fact
Sarah.
that we're sitting there
Sarah
thinking, was
great.
it this? Was it who broke her out? Did Howard the Duck come in? Like it
Someone,
was just
Prison Break. What happened? I know that someone was broken out of prison, but moving away from Prison Break. TV shows that you consider your all-time favorite.
right. Okay, I'm gonna get absolutely mutilated for this. The Walking Dead. I enjoy The Walking Dead so much. I watched it since season 1. I watched it when everybody else stopped watching because it did get a little bit boring, but I stuck it through, and now I'm where we are now, and I'm in love with the show because I waited and it paid off.
Something happened today or yesterday. I saw on Twitter. I saw something about like people weren't happy with the way something was shown in
The new
latest
season
episode.
I'm waiting to binge.
Okay.
I usually do. So I'll wait for the new season to come out and I'll binge what happens.
I know there was
but-
some controversy around the recent episodes.
No, I've heard it roughly, but I've kind of muted a load of Walking Dead stuff on Twitter just to avoid any spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, the dead walk. Someone dies, but they don't really die. And then someone nearly dies.
No, it's not Game of Thrones. Let's be real. In The Walking Dead, people die. It happens.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, I know. But
No. I mean, yes, that's a great show. But in terms of all-time favourites, everybody hates Chris.
Sure. I mean, sure.
Really?
I'll let you have it.
Come on. You're not
No,
going to
it's
agree?
No, it's good.
It's a fantastic show.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. I'm just like, it's an interesting show.
Yeah, it just kind of popped in my head. I'm not sure. I think it was the fact that I can't remember his name.
Chris Rock.
No. The chap who played Chris in the show.
Yes, I know who you're on about.
He was
I can't think of his
in
name.
The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. Pretty sure he was in a Disney film.
No, he was probably in a Disney film.
Yeah.
Wasn't everyone in a Disney film?
Haven't we all been in a Disney film?
We are in a Disney film.
We're all in this together.
My Name is Earl.
My Name is Earl was very good.
I still wish I managed to get a decent ending to that. Or at least, or an ending.
An ending. An actual ending.
I think the closest we're ever going to get to an ending for My Name is Earl is Raising Hope.
I didn't.
Really?
No, I didn't.
So Raising Hope was a show that came out kind of... I'm not sure if it was the same producer, same director or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know a load of the team who worked on My Name is Earl worked on Raising Hope.
Oh, no.
It was it was essentially a story of a guy gets a kid, has to deal with raising this girl called Hope.
Yeah.
And everyone, or like all the main cast from My Name is Earl, made an appearance.
Yeah.
So they never purely played themselves. They never played Earl and Randy. But they were all in it, and the characters were very, very, very similar. It was almost kind of instigated that this was a witness protection thing.
Yeah.
They were all playing. Even Darnell popped up as Crabman, but it was a slightly different name. I'd definitely give Raising Hope a watch. It was such a good show.
My Name is Earl. It was a really weird show. It was just like the setting and everything and the way it was done was very weird. It was recommended to me by someone actually, and I'd never heard of it.
Before its time, it really was.
It was recommended to me about 2016, 15, 16 maybe. I'd never heard of it, and I knew there was only a few seasons to it, so I was like, I can do that, and I watched it, and it was very weird. Like I'd never seen a show with a similar setting to it of the same genre, at least, and but no, it was very good. I just thought the premise was really good, and and I loved how it was
unfinished.
I loved how what's the guy's name that plays Earl?
Oh God, don't do this to me. It's been ages.
That's the Alvin and the Chipmunks guy. Yeah, although we probably
Alvin and the Chipmunks guy.
Yeah, he
Let's just go with that.
He was very good in it. He was a bit like the guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks, like the way he acted. Not quite a multi-dimensional actor, but
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee.
Of course, it was Jason Lee.
Yeah, although we probably shouldn't get into Jason Lee because he's he's supposedly dabbled in a lot of things that are a bit odd, but yeah, I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna judge.
I'm googling it right now because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but no, I did like My Name is Earl. I thought that era of comedy was very good. That era, like, it wasn't quite unprecedented, but it was. So I'm right in saying it was around the same time as Scrubs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was roughly about the same time, and it was all E4 as well.
Yeah, so I loved Scrubs as well. Who was your favourite Scrubs character?
Oh shit! Oh,
it's not a debate for me.
Cox.
Dr. Cox just wins it.
It was Cox. He's a well-written character. This is the same reason I like Holt.
Yeah.
Same reason I like Gregory House.
Yes.
You haven't seen House, have you?
No. But I've seen
should
Fry
watch
and
House.
Laurie.
You should watch House.
Yeah.
You really should. It's good.
I'll watch it.
Have you seen Community?
No.
You should watch
Community.
I
haven't seen Community. You're just listing shows that you've told me to watch that I haven't watched.
That's another show that I would always class as a favourite. Community, hands down. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
It's that same thing that I mentioned earlier with Shaun of the Dead, where it's like these sly, subtle things included that you wouldn't really know they're there unless you look for them.
Yeah.
So Community does that really well. They've got like a long running like kind of system of inside jokes, and I think the one that always sticks with me is that across the 6 season span, just in regular everyday conversation, and you don't realise it until you watch it back and someone had clocked it, but in regular everyday conversation, just thrown into their quirky conversations, they include the word Beetlejuice 3 times across 6 seasons. And the last time they said Beetlejuice, in the very background of the shot, someone dressed as Beetlejuice walks past, and you don't spot it because it's so well hidden.
Yeah.
And it's only when you kind of watch him these Easter egg videos back that you spot that and you
Who
think,
wrote
fucking
the
hell.
show?
Dan Harmon.
Oh, okay.
So it was the same guy who, when Community kind of had its issues at the end, Dan Harmon kind of then worked with Justin Roiland to make Rick and Morty.
Right.
Which is why a lot of the humour between Rick and Morty and Community are actually quite similar, albeit subtle. But yeah, originally Dan Harmon was kind of working on Community.
Yeah.
He had a load of issues with Chevy Chase.
Right.
And then after there was a bit of a cancellation thing going on. I mean,
drama.
Yeah, bit of beef. He moved on to Rick and Morty after a while. I think how it worked was he was bored. He was unemployed after Community had ended.
Aren't we all?
And they kind of worked together, put the pitch forward. And in fact, the pilot of Rick and Morty, after having it confirmed that they wanted like a season, Fox was like, yeah, we'll take it. I think it was Fox, wasn't it? Was it Fox?
That took what?
That took Rick and Morty.
No idea.
Whoever it was that took Rick and Morty. After they kind of confirmed that they wanted a season, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon went home and literally wrote the pilot script in 6 hours. 6 hours that night, and the pilot script was done.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it in less, but sure.
Yeah, but is yours ranking the same as Rick and Morty?
It might be.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Because last I checked, it has 102 views on YouTube.
Which one are we talking about?
And 1 like. The like was me.
Let's not dissect our own work just yet.
No, we'll wait for a special episode for that.
We'll get into that.
That'd be a nice Christmas episode, ripping our own work apart.
Yeah, I mean, I'll enjoy ripping yours apart.
Kinky.
Yeah. So, film-wise, no, not film-wise. That's an absolute lie. I absolutely lied to you just then. TV-wise,
I am disgusted.
TV-wise,
yeah.
I'd still like. With films, I often think films that are like incredible rank in my top whatever. But then with TV shows, it's more just TV shows that I enjoy. So like How I Met Your Mother is definitely one of my favorite TV shows, and it's not an absolutely incredible show. Like, you don't sit there in awe thinking this is unheard of.
But I mean, you got to admit, in some episodes you do. When things break out and they do things very differently. I think off the top of my head, like Community, those kind of running jokes, say Slapsgiving, for example.
Yeah.
Every time that comes back, you think, do you know what? As a viewer, I respect the fact that this is coming up over and over and over again.
I love
it's new.
No, I love these things, but I mean, it's not the kind of TV, like, you know, as a lot of people like to point out, and I mean, fairly so. It's basically Friends. It's Friends with one less character. That's what it is. But I still like look at it. Like, you've got Ted, Ross. Come on, both professors even. Then, you know, they're effectively like meant to be main characters. Then you've got Barney, Joey. You know, you've got the couple in the friendship group in Marshall and Lily. You've got Chandler and Monica, and then
Rachel as Robin.
Yeah,
and then Phoebe's left out because Phoebe was never the best anyway.
Listen, don't come for Phoebe.
Phoebe was shit.
She was
unneeded.
No, she wasn't.
She was unnecessary.
You never found anything she done funny.
I laughed at Smelly Cat.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't
that was
laugh
the point.
With Smelly Cat.
You weren't meant to laugh with it. You meant to laugh at it. It was great. I genuinely thought Phoebe was very good. I thought not my favourite character.
Who's your favourite character?
Chandler.
Yeah, my God.
It's always Chandler. But no, I thought Phoebe was still a good character. In fact, I liked all the characters apart from
Monica.
I liked Monica.
Fuck Monica.
No, I really liked Monica. Probably Ross. Ross was
a dick.
Ross was just annoying. Like, I was just like, oh.
So the fact he's presented as... Did you know that technically they ranked, like, who has how many lines in the whole thing? Ross and Rachel are technically the main characters in the entire thing.
I mean, clearly.
And Ross has more lines than everyone else in the entire show, which is weird because he's also the most boring.
He's just, I don't know, like, you know, he has some fantastic scenes, like the fajitas, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, exactly. But I do just find it annoying. Marcel was great.
I miss Marcel.
But no, I just thought Moscow's just a budget of bubbles. Although that's another door we won't open.
No, Netflix did that for us.
Have
you seen that yet?
Do? No, that wasn't Netflix.
What,
Are you on about
Neverland?
No, it was. I don't know. It was done in America. I can't remember what. Who done it in America? But it was Channel 4 here.
No, have you seen it?
No.
No,
I've seen bits of it.
I haven't gave it a go yet. Same as the Madeleine McCann one. I haven't looked into.
I started the Madeleine McCann one. Wasn't incredible. A lot of it rested on the visuals.
It's just going to be shit we already know.
I don't know. I just didn't find it. I was expecting a groundbreaking documentary. I didn't really get that. It was still interesting.
Well, because people know.
It was still interesting.
All the main stuff is common knowledge.
It was still interesting, but I just didn't find it to be like, whoa, this is really testing my mind. But
I'd like to see a Biggie and Tupac one.
Biggie, you've come to the right guy.
I know I have.
There's a TV show, and it's called, and it's a name I forgot. It's a drama documentary, and it's about Biggie and Tupac. It's about Russell Paul and I forgot the other guy's name, but it's detectives anyway.
Yeah.
That are looking into the case, in which, for anyone who for some reason doesn't know, Biggie and Tupac were killed. No, it's on Netflix. You have to watch it. So it uses actual footage. It integrates the documentary side of it, but then it's a modern day one. So it's these people looking into the case, but they also come across the people that first looked into the case. So it's a bit Inception.
That sounds kind of cool.
But no, it's drama and documentary. It was incredible. It was incredible. And if you care for like the Biggie and Tupac stuff, Unsolved, it was called. It was Netflix Unsolved. BuzzFeed knows nothing.
To be fair, BuzzFeed Unsolved isn't bad at all.
BuzzFeed Unsolved's all right. I used to enjoy watching some of them.
I'm into whole spirituality, ghosts, monsters, creatures, and that kind of shit. So BuzzFeed Unsolved.
You don't have to say all those words. I'll give you one word that describes it, Kieran. Gullible. No, I'm joking. It reminds me of the Jimmy Carr joke when he's just like, I know some people believe in spirits and stuff, and I know there's a way to tell if your house is haunted. It isn't. Grow up. I like some of the stuff that they do, BuzzFeed and Solve stuff. But I do like looking like. I'll never go out to think, right, I'm going to look into these conspiracy theories. But it's once you get whiff of that rabbit hole,
you dive in
head first, and you can't get out.
There's one in particular that makes me think of that, and it turned out to be a lot more boring than we thought it was.
What?
I'm not saying it. You know what I mean.
No.
A little something called Who Put Bella in the Witch Elm.
Oh, yeah.
But now, I'm not going to go into super detail with this, but if anyone at home is curious, just Google Who Put Bella in the Witch Elm. You'll read 5 minutes of it. You'll think, do you know what? This sounds really interesting. After 10 minutes, you'll realise it's not. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran's referencing that because we made a documentary on it. But no, I like the fact that we sidestepped leaving Neverland, because I was like, when you brought it up, I was just like, let's not.
I very quickly brushed over that. I thought, let's not get too much into the details.
Yeah.
But yeah, conspiracy theory is always a fun one.
Although I don't there's not many TV shows, is there, based on that?
Well,
I mean, it depends what you class. So like ghosts.
Yeah,
and
you've
stuff.
got like most haunted and shit
Most
like that.
haunted. You
But,
actually sound like Derek Okora. You're really getting into most hunters. It's great.
But you've got shows like that, which personally I would count. Or Grave Encounters was a parody film. What's the? I think it's just Ghost Hunters. There's
a
one in
bunch
particular
of them.
which is
There's
great.
a bunch of them, and I just can't do it with some of them. Like I'll watch them. I'm like anybody in the world. I'm honestly, I'm scum like us all. I'll turn over on the TV and that'll be on, and I'll think, oh, this stuff. An hour later, I'm still watching it.
Do you want to know where to get the best stuff like that?
Where?
The best kind of,
No,
like hunting and all that kind of stuff. Probably the best place to get good content for that is YouTube at the moment. There are a lot of people that are doing that, and sometimes you know yourself. a lot of the times when you watch these most haunted videos or something like that, they're probably not real.
Yeah.
We know that it's
Don't
all
lie.
exaggerated.
Yeah.
But these YouTube stars,
Yeah.
like the ones who have been making videos for ages, like I like YouTube. I will watch more YouTube than I will straight TV.
Yeah.
But because they've been making videos for a long time,
Right.
and they're good with their editing, they're good with planning out videos, they make some really entertaining content.
Yeah.
I think an example would be BuzzFeed Unsolved. Like, especially the paranormal episodes, they were entertaining.
Yeah.
They genuinely were, like, encapsulating. It was just so different.
Yeah. I agree.
I just wish there were more TV shows like that.
Yeah. The thing is though, that's what I feel like that's where documentaries. I feel like documentaries are sort of the bridge often between the mediums for like TV and YouTube and stuff. So you'll get Louis Theroux, you know,
What a guy.
my absolute boy. I still like I just wish I could still wear my Christmas jumper that says dashing through the snow.
I still wear my Christmas jumper, and it's just a it's a naked homeless Santa.
I mean, that is not what we all want.
Yeah,
But
I'm
no,
living the dream.
Louis Theroux is very like that's why you
I
get
wouldn't judge
stuff on the internet and that, and also on too. It's like a documentary came out. I think it was last week or the week before, but then it's all on BBC iPlayer.
Yeah,
So I think that's where you do see the bridge with stuff like that. No, I feel like going into documentaries and stuff isn't quite what people would necessarily want to hear. I feel like it's a bit too factual.
yeah.
I feel like you're here to think about TV, like your classic TV
Classic
and
stuff.
film.
So, what do you think of Finding Nemo?
You know what annoys me? It annoys me that you're using that as a bit of banter. And Finding Nemo was a brilliant film.
That's why I said it.
It was. I love. I don't think there's been a Pixar film that I haven't loved.
God, I'm gonna get just so fucking hard for this. I am not a big Bugs Life fan.
I loved A Bug's Life. Bug's Life was great. What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan. Compared to the others, it seemed very stale.
How old were you when A Bug's Life came out? Why were you sat there going? But don't you think this like Flick wouldn't really do that? I don't believe the way Hopper's being portrayed. Not for me.
I'll have you know, I was a very analytical child.
When were you born?
1995, 30th of October.
The film came out in 1998.
I didn't watch it at release, though.
Fake fan.
Can you imagine 3-year-old in the cinema like, hold on, we got to stay till the end. There's going to be an after-credit scene.
It's just Hopper going, I'll do it myself. No, I find...
Buzz Lightyear. There was an idea.
Favourite Pixar film?
Toy Story.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I think Toy Story... Toy Story could...
I got to be
Could
honest.
be what I'd say.
My body reacted before my brain. I said Toy Story. I sat there thinking, was that what I wanted to say? And it turns out, yes, that was the right answer.
I think Toy Story was very good. I mean, I say it like it's breaking news. Like, did you hear someone thought Toy Story was good? Oh, bloody hell! No, I mean, I really enjoyed Toy Story. Cars was very much. I grew up with Cars being like one of my favourite.
Can we very quickly discuss the whole Cars planes controversy?
The controversy. Please share. What is this?
The fact that Planes like technically isn't Pixar. I think like it's not.
Right.
It's my understanding that Planes isn't technically a Pixar film. It was like the rights to the concept of Cars, and Planes was made with it or something,
Okay.
and then someone took the rights to it. Or
I mean, it's still Disney,
yeah, but it's not Pixar.
but it's a spin-off.
Yeah, but it would be Pixar.
Are you sure it's not Pixar?
I'm positive it's not Pixar.
Okay, but can I ask you why? What? Can I ask you what the controversy is? Can I ask you what episode of Jeremy Kyle you turned over?
Okay, so you've heard the Pixar theory.
Lightning McQueen going, I'm bloody pissed off. I am. Get those DNS. So,
You've heard of the Pixar theory.
no. You're gonna have to share. Don't just look at me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Just
Well,
share.
no. A whole episode is being devoted to the Pixar theory.
Right.
It's going to be one of those episodes where I'm just explaining you stuff and you're just like, okay.
Right.
But ultimately, by the end of it, you'll be into it. Don't read up on the
I'll
Pixar
be the
theory.
judge of that. Okay.
I'm gonna do the explaining for you.
Up.
Down,
The
left,
film.
right. Oh yes. I love Up.
Up was incredible. Up was fantastic. I can't remember who. I listened to a podcast recently, and Wally, the film.
Yeah.
It was someone on there was saying they didn't like it, and I was like, who ever watched that film and thought,
Not for me.
not for me. I'm just like, what?
The only one that I could really accept people being like, I don't like this,
Whoa, this is dangerous territory, Kieran.
Monsters University.
Mate, Monsters University.
I
watched
liked
that in
it.
the cinema.
I liked it, but I can see why some people would be like, I wasn't a fan.
Why?
It seemed like a very cheap cop out of a prequel.
What? So when there was this film, Monsters Inc., and they told you they're going to set it when they were in university, you watched that and you thought, well, that's not what I expected.
No, I mean the concept of Monsters. Just do a sequel. Nobody wanted a prequel. Just do a sequel.
I think a prequel is much better because Monsters Inc. They're working at the company. It's effectively that is the peak of monster life. Scaring kids. That's what they do. That's what they aim to do, and they want to become the best at. And
I thought
Sully,
I
Sully
wasn't gonna. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. We wanted this to be. Yep.
Sully.
I'm not gonna do that.
I know where that was going. Sully was the best at being, and the scary monster. He was the guy. Everyone loved Sully, and Mike was the best at whatever his job title was. Assistant to the scarer, assistant to the regional manager. That is the scarer.
I thought that was Dwight.
Yeah, that was the joke. But where do they go from there? If they're doing a sequel, where do they go? Aren't you more interested? How you sit there, you watch Monsters Inc. and you think, how do you get into this industry? How do you become a scarer? What do? You go to university. So they give you Monsters University.
I mean, I didn't say I didn't like it. In fact, I said I liked it. I just said I can understand why people would be like, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, but you said we didn't want a prequel. We wanted a sequel.
I didn't want a prequel. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I didn't want a prequel.
Yeah, but doesn't the prequel make much more sense than the sequel?
It probably does make more sense, but doesn't mean I wanted one.
Exactly. So I'm glad you bowed down.
Favorite genre of film. And we'll wrap it up with this. It's favorite genre of film.
It's difficult.
Is that what I asked?
I'd probably say.
Okay, you can have two. You can have two. I'll be fair.
Okay, I'll tell you. I won't give you my outright answer of these are my favourite two. I'll tell you what.
Then why are we even
I'll
here?
tell you what my shut up. I'll tell you
why
what
are we even here?
I'll tell
Tyler?
you what two of my favourite are, but I think I have a problem with them, and I'll tell you what that is. Firstly, post-apocalyptic / dystopian / whatever you want to call it. Second, that's one I'd like to do an episode on.
Yeah.
Because I know you like them too.
I do.
And also psychological thriller. When I say psychological thriller, I mean like your Donnie Darkos.
Like
Split, like the concept of that and stuff. And that that kind of thing. I Get Out. It's a horror film, but for me, it's very much psychological thriller.
See, that's the thing, though. I know that Us, the new one coming out.
Yes.
There's a big stick about people labeling that as a psychological.
Jordan Peele came out yesterday on
he-
Twitter, and he was like,
This is a
Us
horror.
is a horror film, and it was full stop. He's just like.
Did you know that Get Out was submitted for a comedy award?
Yeah.
How bad is that? Like,
I feel like people see the name Jordan Peele and they expect it to be Key and Peele-esque.
the guy
It's
is a
very much
genius.
Not. Jordan Peele's fantastic what he does. That's why I could look forward to The Twilight Zone coming back, I think, next month. It might be the 1st of April, actually.
Yeah.
But it's on CBS. So
Right, we've gone off on a tangent again. Go on.
Sorry.
What's your issue with those genres?
No, my issue with the genres is that they're done to death at the moment. You go onto Netflix, you will find a post-apocalyptic film or TV show you haven't seen. They love
I mean, speak for yourself.
No, honestly, they love rinsing it. It's like Cargo, the film. I told you, I got you to watch it. I think Martin Freeman.
I watched it before you.
No, you didn't, because I told you to watch it, and then we
I
had a
definitely
debate
told
about
other
it.
people to watch it, so we're on the same
Well
wave
done.
there.
And yeah, so like Cargo, I loved the film. I say I loved it. I thought it was very good. And I loved discussing it and stuff. But it was still, it was like another one, not another post-apocalyptic movie. And then the same for psychological thriller. I feel like everyone's on the bandwagon of it at the moment. I say that I'm currently working on a psychological thriller, but no, it is something that's done to death. That's where my problem comes about. But nonetheless, over time, they have been my two favourites. And yours are horror.
Yes. Can you guess my second one? It will be a surprise to you.
Chick flick.
No.
Oh, well, we know it's not animated films about bugs.
Or universities.
Or universities. We've had enough of them, to be honest. I don't know the others. What?
Musicals.
Oh, yeah, not quite a surprise.
No.
I mean,
But,
we could do an episode on musicals.
That'd be great.
I'm not big on musicals, but I've seen a few.
Fantastic.
I've seen a few. I mean, like I've seen some of the legendary ones. I mean, the characters that bring music to your ears, such as Troy Bolton. Like, I don't think, I know my stuff.
Or Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas.
I don't count those as musicals. Like, they are musicals, but I don't count that in
High School Musical and Camp Rock?
Yeah.
Mate,
I know they are musicals,
challenge
and
them.
I give it.
Don't challenge them.
That's not what I count as, like.
Don't challenge them.
I'm talking more Annie. I'm talking more.
I'm sorry, but
Oliver.
Did you miss the cinematic performance that was Troy Bolton singing "Get on It"? No, it's not even "Get on It."
Bet on it.
It's "Bet on It." Tell me that was not something that you were not astounded by that.
I mean,
Chicago could never.
After watching
Annie
that,
could never.
After watching that, I was emotionally stunted for like a week.
Exactly.
He pulled at my heartstrings.
I mean,
and he let them.
I'm sorry. Look at the end of the film. He's performing, and Gabriella comes out of nowhere. Tell me that was just. Oh man, my heart went.
I'm not a Gabriella fan. It was Sharpay all along.
Yeah.
She was the one who wanted the best for Troy.
Mate, don't come for Gabriella like that.
No, she wanted the best for Troy. She was the one arranging dates and meetings, and she was the one arranging a future for Troy and getting him a scholarship. What did Gabriella do? Basically said, "Fuck you in your basketball."
Yes, but she also done it to benefit herself. Sharpay did. She was always benefiting.
And what Gabriella didn't do, what Gabriella didn't benefit herself.
No, not really, because she lost out too. She didn't want to just leave. Kieran, it hurt her as much as it hurt Troy. Okay, we'll have our own.
The real underrated character in all of High School Musical, though, Ryan.
Ryan was very good.
He was good. He was just the poor guy. Was always in his sister's shadow.
Yeah, I know. What's the actor's name? Lucas Gabriel.
It's definitely Lucas. I'm not sure about Gabriel. That might be wrong.
Or Grape something. I can't remember. But what was the guy's name? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Chad.
Chad was incredible.
I played Zeke in a Year 6 production.
You played Zeke.
Yeah, I played the role of Zeke.
Was Zeke the guy who jumps on the table and he's...
Zeke was the one who bakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creme brulee.
Yeah. when he makes the creme brulee for Sharpay, and at the end of the film, she appears and she's just like, "I want more of that creme brulee." Oh, it's great.
What accent was that?
Sharpay's. No, but I always remember. Do you remember the skater guy?
Oh God,
I can't remember his name.
No, I don't think he had.
No, I don't think he was very relevant. But I could imagine you being him, like very much so.
No, I think he was played by.
No, no, I don't remember him being played by anyone of note.
No, I mean in our production in Year 6.
Oh, well, well, I don't care who played him in your production. I genuinely don't care. Good for Daniel.
No, it was a girl. Well, we were very much against gender stereotyping at that point.
I see. Yeah, you guys set the bar for that.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, no, that was no bandwagon from you.
Although that's the first time and last time you will ever see me in a basketball uniform.
I'd love to play Troy. We should do our own High School Musical. That's what we should do. That should be our next production. we should round everyone up to do High School Musical.
What was it? What would we call it?
Monsters University. Have you not seen this place? No.
We say as we use their production desk with all their kit and set up. And...
Simmer down.
Yeah, we'll simmer down.
No. So, yeah, the bottom line is Gabriella was better than Sharpay. She wanted the best for Troy as well.
The bottom line was Sharpay was better than Gabriella, and she wanted the best for Troy in the long run, in his future. and she supported his singing and his.
Did
last album.
Sharpay not just want everything for herself?
There was a song called "I Want It All."
Exactly, and look at when she's performing in
but
the
then
canteen.
again, there was also a song called Humanuma Apawata. So I don't really trust anything she says, if we're being honest.
I just remember the just like I don't know. She just wanted everything for it. I mean, she became good at the end of every film, but
which was weird. It was like
it was very much the
suddenly,
Disney cycle.
I'm
at that
good
point.
again.
Yeah,
and then next episode, it's now I'm a dick.
Yeah, but
It
I
didn't
mean,
make much sense.
it was great. You know, when she was there, secretly we all sang along when she was just like, something's not that really wrong. Don't lie.
Oh, Kelsey. She was
Kelsey.
underrated.
Kelsey. I mean, nah.
No, if it wasn't for her, there wouldn't have been any music.
Did she not write the song that "You Are the Music of Me"?
Yes, she did.
I'm so clued up on this. It's worrying.
It's the fact that we spoke about this longer than we have any other consistent topic this podcast.
And what better place to go out on? High School Musical was better than Chicago.
Agreed. But before we cut it, why don't we just clear up what we're going to talk about next time? What's on the cards? What is one thing that you want to talk about above everything else?
Ricky Gervais's Afterlife.
Sounds good to me.
We'll get guests on. We'll talk to them about their favourite films. We'll judge their favourite films. We'll make them feel really bad after breaking down
We will give them
why they are the
total
people
verdict.
they are. We'll make them feel awful about the people they are. They will leave. They will feel absolutely demolished. And we've done our jobs correctly.
And then the next week, we'll do it to somebody else.
Yeah.
We're going to call it. We'll see you next time. We'll talk about Afterlife. We'll have some guests, and it will all be a nice, fun time. But until then,
Goodbye.
goodbye.